Welcome to Nina's Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. My channel, it's all about crochet. Well, sometimes I talk about yarn. Sometimes I talk about fun things that are happening in this fantastic yarning community, and I sprinkle in a little bit of my life here and there. Returning subscribers, thanks so much for coming back, spending a little bit of your Monday with me. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy the shenanigans. I hope that everybody has a fun day, a safe day. But, you know, drink a green beer for me, because I don't drink beer. So today I am going to give you a recap of what happened when we went to Camp Boggy Creek on Friday. The Boggy Blanket Brigade, and that is Nancy from She's Got Yarn, Lynette Charmed Grammy, myself, Juan the Yarn Addict. We met up with Jo, who is a Yarny Zoom sister, and she was taking the place of, she was playing Billy the Crafty Floridian on our videos. She was there in Billy's stead because Billy wasn't feeling well, and we really appreciate Jo doing that. And Kim was with Juan. I guess she is one of his subscriber moderators, and she helped drive the truck down. So we had such an amazing day. It was a long day. I'll tell you that right off the bat. It was a long day. I got there about 12:30. We didn't leave camp until it was after 5, I think, when we finally left. And then of course we had to do dinner, so we went to Cracker Barrel and had some dinner, and it was a really great day. I love spending time with all of these people. They're amazing human beings, and what we did just emphasizes just what amazing human beings they are. So we delivered all, what is it, 3,255 blankets. We were served a little bit of lunch, and then we did a short tour because Juan had never been, Jo had never been to camp either. So we kind of did a short tour of what camp life is like. And I have to tell you, Juan's designer brain gears were turning. And we learned a lot of other things, but I think we're going to keep, other than this video, we're going to keep the Boggy Talk to Wednesdays. Wednesdays, we are going to be doing a Boggy Creek live video. Again, we're going to keep this going every Wednesday night, maybe for just an hour or so, just to chat, catch up with everybody, see if anybody's got a new interesting pattern that would make a great boggy blanket. Designers who are designing some new ones will be showcased. We're not going to show any blankets, but it'll be kind of like, think about it as a crochet night. Like, get together with your friends and crochet and talk. That's what Wednesday night's going to be, but we're going to center it around the boggy blankets. I'm going to use those Wednesday nights while we're live. I'm going to be putting squares together. So, hopefully, you know, at least I'll show you the squares I'm using. And then the following Wednesday on my videos, I will show you the blanket that I made the Wednesday before. That's what my plan is for now. But in the meantime, I got to show you. We'll talk more about it. I want to keep the talk of Boggy basically to the one day and to when we're together with the girls. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to throw Boggy in there here and there, because one of the things they told us is that they are blown away at the amount of awareness. Not talking about the monetary donation or the blanket donation, the actual awareness of the fact that the camp is there has been amazing for them. That's what they couldn't believe, that the amount of awareness that we're bringing to their camp is just been amazing to them. And so we're going to keep the awareness going year round. You know, the blanket drive will be the blanket drive, but we're going to change up some things this year, you guys. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. So looking forward to Wednesday night when the four of us, I don't know if one's going to join us this Wednesday or not, but at least the three of us will be together, and we'll talk about the new and interesting things that are going to be happening. But anyway, I'm going to put in, again, you cannot go to that place without being changed, being affected. We forgot to bring the tissues for Lynette. Again, she was crying. That's okay. That's what she does. I was on the verge of tears a couple of times. Kimmy was telling us a story about one of their campers who was afraid of the horses, and they got her. They allow horseback riding there for these kids. Kids who are in wheelchairs get up on a horse. She was very, very afraid, and the counselor got her at least to pet the horse, and then, you know, get a little bit closer to the horse, and she got on the horse. And they said, okay, we're going to let the horse take a step or two. And the horse took a step or two, and that was it. She was done. She's like, I did it. I got on a horse. I'm done. And one of the things that they do in the dining hall is they have the book of firsts. And she got to write into the book of firsts and tell everybody that she got on a horse and the horse took a few steps. And of course, she was owning it. She was so excited. The camp, when anybody reads their book of firsts, they go crazy. They cheer and they joy. It's such a joyful place. The ring of what is it called? I always want to call it the ring of kindness, but I don't think that's what they call it. The big hoop that they string yarn through, that was just full of, I don't know. It's one of those places like, okay, listen, we were walking from the cabins to the pool, and we're on a boardwalk that was called like the Turtle View Boardwalk. I have a picture of the sign. I was like, it's a turtle. Anyway, we're walking through this boardwalk, and Lynette noticed in the tree that there were tumbleweeds tied on it. They were thankful for the trees and for the shade, so they took their tumbleweeds and they tied it on the branches of the tree, and it's still there. I mean, come on, you guys. These kids, they melt your heart. They're so thankful and so appreciative of everything that they get to do when they're at camp. The camp is all about respect and love and kindness, and it's an amazing place. I got to tell you, it just is an amazing place. Go check out some of their YouTube videos. None of them are very long. Most of them are shorts, but go show them some love on their YouTube channel. The girl who was the publicity photographer this time was a former camper. And she told us that she had been at camp for 10 years in a row, and has all 10 of her blankets, and she loves them to this day. So these blankets make a huge difference to these kids, you guys. It's a big part of Boggy Creek. We gave them about 2.5 years worth of blankets this time, I think is what she said, with 3,000 blankets. You should have seen it. I think I have some video. I'll put some video in here. There is blankets pouring out of this closet onto the floor, into the hallway. I felt really bad. I'm like, oh my God, what are they going to do? Where are they going to store all this stuff? It was a wonderful thing to have to worry about. Like, where are they going to store all these blankets? Their storage capacity isn't that great. So it was an amazing time. You know, when I get to spend with my yarny besties, you know, in person, it's always a fun time. But that place is a special place. So I'm gonna throw in some pictures. I'm gonna throw in a couple video clips. I hope you enjoy everything that we did. I hope that you're thinking ahead to next season, what we're going to do, because they're in 2026, when we deliver the blankets next year in 2026, that will be their 30th season, their 30th year of Camp Boggy Creek, and they are going to have a big celebration. They're going to have a big homecoming celebration. They're in the planning stage now, but they're going to invite back previous campers and counselors and staff, and it's just going to be a great big homecoming celebration. I don't know any more details than that. I'm just telling you what they're in the beginning planning stages of right now for next year of 2026. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. So listen, guys, enjoy the little videos and the pictures that I have popped in here. Thank you all again for all of your support in this big endeavor. We couldn't do it without you, and we know that, and we appreciate it. Oh, I almost forgot. While we were at camp, Kimmy shows this big table and says, here, take some stuff. You can either give this away, or you can keep it for yourself, or you can do whatever you want with it. Well, I'm going to give one away. The only problem is they only had smaller sizes. So if you are a size medium, a size large, and you think you would like this t-shirt, leave me a comment. And it says, I don't know if you can read it because the red, it says some more Camp Boggy Creek, some more than a camp. And you can't really read the red, but that's what it says. And then it's got the Camp Boggy Creek logo on the back. This is a large t-shirt, so if you can wear a large, or know somebody who can wear a large, but I'm gonna say this with the caveat: if you're wearing this shirt out in public, please remember that you are wearing the Boggy Creek brand, and if somebody asks you about them, direct them to their website or to their YouTube channel. But remember, you become a brand ambassador for Boggy Creek if you wear this out in public. So just remember that when you're wearing this, or whomever you give this to, if you're not a large and you know somebody who's a large and you win this shirt. So leave me a comment if you want to win this size large. And this is an Abercrombie & Fitch t-shirt. So think about how those sizes fit. So, oh, and I was given this really beautiful certificate of appreciation from the staff at Camp Boggy Creek, and it reads, Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is proudly presented to Lynanne Moore of Nina's Knots Crochet. A heartfelt thank you to the incredible team behind the Boggy Blanket Brigade. Your dedication, creativity, and tireless effort have brought this unique and captivating project to life all over the world. Through careful planning, innovative storytelling, and a commitment to excellence, you have crafted a space that not only showcases a fascinating journey, but also inspires viewers to be part of something much bigger than themselves. Camp Boggy Creek. Your hard work and passion shine through in every aspect of this endeavor. Thank you for your dedication to the campers of Camp Boggy Creek. This incredible gift will keep our campers feeling safe, respected, and loved. And it even says down here, 3,255 blankets made with love. And I didn't realize back when I started putting the hearts on the blankets, that a heart was part of their original logo. I'm going to pop that picture in right here. Their original logo has a tree and a heart and some waves. So when I started putting the hearts on there, I didn't realize that the heart is such a big part of the logo at Camp Boggy Creek. So again, I'm just going to say, Kimmy, thank you so much. We had a really wonderful day. If you're watching, I don't know if you watch all my videos or not. Anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Tomorrow, Tunisian Tuesday. I have some yarn coming in. And we're going to talk about tank tops. I am on the struggle bus, you guys. Oh, anyway, leave me a comment if you are interested in the t-shirt. But we're not going to say the giveaway word in there. Let's not do that. Let's just, make a nice comment. Nothing more than that. But hey, get back to your Monday. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. We will talk to you tomorrow for Tunisian Tuesday. Remember, take care of yourself. Give yourself that little bit of grace. It's going to be all right. Give yourself that little bit of kindness, but above all, be kind to everyone. And I will see you tomorrow.
That's just the trailer.
That's right. Where else do you have them?
All right, guys, you ready to rock and roll?
Open the door.
Let's do it.
Let's particular blanket out and then we can work with blanket better.
Get out of the way.
Don't feel bad. It's not your fault. We need to put a tip in that. Like we need to pull the one. Where's the knife?
Don't hold up with the knife.
Go with the knife. They want to go with the knife. We just separate that, and then we can probably pull. Surgery.
I like to refer to them as body bags.
I know. We got to separate that. Wood.
We can get a sawzall and cut the board off.
Well, no, we can separate it.
Got it.
God bless you.
Yes. It's in one piece.
In one piece. The blanket survived. The porch is in one
All it
piece.
takes is one slither and it's unraveled.
Over the shoulder, over the back, huh? That's what we're doing.
Don't hurt yourself, Lynette.
Chief Development Officer for Camp Boggy Creek. And I want to tell you a story. I don't remember when exactly, but Camp Boggy Creek was fortunate enough that the GFWC selected us as their President's Project a few years ago. And we had a few friends that, I don't know, they made Afghans that knew people in the GFWC. And while the rest of that group was making tons of bears, this beautiful little pocket of people started making Afghans because we need those too. Every camper and every sibling takes one bear and one Afghan home. So I'm sitting at home one night and I'm watching YouTube. My husband is asleep and I see Nancy on television. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna let her know I'm here. Hey, it's Jacqueline from Camp Boggy Creek. And Nancy's like, hey, Jacqueline. And at some point my husband wakes up and goes, is the lady on TV talking to you? And I said, as a matter of fact, she is. And then I texted Kimmy and I'm like, hey, Kimmy, you need to turn on YouTube. And then Kimmy started texting and he kept saying, why is she talking to you and Kimmy? And where is Kimmy? I'm like, Kimmy's at home watching the same show. Anyway, so that was a beautiful, magical moment. And Kimmy and Nancy teamed up from there with all of these amazing people that you have in your circle and all of these people around the world. Like, it is now our favorite show to watch. You unbox Afghans and hear the stories and find out where they're from. So let me tell you a little bit about why it all matters at the end of the day. And I also want to thank the Boggy Creek team that's here, Heather and Kirsten and Nick and Matt and Darlene and Noelle and of course Magical Kimmy back there.
Thank you so much. Where did Kimmy go? She's hiding somewhere. She's right there.
So next year, Camp Boggy Creek is celebrating 30 years.
Oh.
And it all started because one little girl in the Miami area got cancer. And for many years, before she was 7, she was in and out of Nicholas Children's Hospital and being treated and going through all of her treatments. And when she turned 7, her oncologist said, you should go to a camp in Connecticut started by that actor Paul Newman. It was called Hole in the Wall Camp. It still exists today. Because Paul Newman felt like he was a really lucky guy and he wanted to give back, and he wanted to give back to kids who were sick. So he built this magical camp that had a medical center on it. So really sick kids could go experience a week of, in his words, raising a little hell. There's Paul in the back. He's back on the wall. In the back? Yep. Because we all know that he had the vision. And this little girl went to that camp and came home And her mother, who I recently had the pleasure of having lunch with in the last 6 months, will tell you that week changed her daughter's life. She dealt with her illness differently. She dealt with her life differently. Every day was just different because of this magical time at this place in Connecticut. And do you know what Jennifer, that little girl, said? How come I had to go to Connecticut? And so with that, her parents started making some phone calls. And we actually have 8 founders of camp. Our 2 most famous are Paul Newman and General Norman Schwarzkopf. But there were 8 key people who made a huge financial investment of $1 million or more and started making phone calls to friends. And Paul Newman said, here's what we did, do it your way. And Camp Boggy Creek started to become reality. What was Florida Hospital Waterman, which is close to us, donated 232 acres of land. And camp got started, and this vision got started so that more children like Jennifer could have a very similar experience. Our gates opened in 1996, so that's why next year is our 30th year. And Jennifer never lived to see the gates open. So some of us call camp Jennifer's vision because it was one little girl who was impacted that now almost 100,000 children and family members have been through the gates of camp. And what happens when they get here? There's summertime. Summertime is when kids from 7 to 17 get to be at camp without their parents, without their siblings, and they get to go fishing down at the fishing. They get to go ride horses, and some of them are getting out of wheelchairs to do that. They get to dance in the theater, and sometimes they might have a seizure while they're dancing in the theater. And then they get checked out, and they get back up, and they finish that song. And that's what sets us apart. At night, they're tucked away in the cabin with other kids that are their age, that are living in the same journey of heart disease or sickle cell or any one of the 15 different illness groups that we serve. They come to the dining hall. And yeah, we have food here, but what we also have is a great community because in the summertime, in this building, think about it, anywhere between 110 and 150 kids, all of our counselors, all of our volunteers, any special guests who come in, and they're singing, and there's dancing, and there's cheering, and there's camaraderie, and there's older campers visiting younger campers. And many of our summer staff are former campers now because we have been around for 30 years. So that's a magical thing. So that's what happens in the summer. And what that does is exactly what Jennifer said and her family, is it changes their lives. We know this because one of our staff members, aside from our medical doctor and our medical team, and all the volunteer specialists that are here on the medical side, we have a psych-soc professional who is on our staff, who not only makes sure everybody, including our staff, is emotionally safe, because when we say safe, respected, and love, we mean that to be inclusive of all of us, including all of our partners and guests. And his role is also to know, are we really doing the things? Everything is so intentional, right down to the song that's played so everybody knows it's time to clean up without saying, hey, it's time to clean up. Because that's not fun. It's fun when you hear a song and your counselors know it's time to clean up. It's magical, right? If you're a camper, that's magic. Like, why does everybody get up at the same time? This is amazing. All of that intentional is driven to empower that child, to make them feel different. And one of the things that we found out at the end of last year that was really fascinating for us was for a lot of campers, it gave them the empowerment to actually talk to their doctors in a different way. And all of us feel that way, right? You go to the doctor and they're like a god. Well, they're a doctor. And so now you're a 10-year-old who feels comfortable asking more questions and feeling more engaged. And part of that comes because you've spent the week with other people that know that journey. When it's not summertime, it's happening right now. Every other weekend, family retreats. Because we all know that chronic illness impacts not just the person with the illness, but everybody that loves them and is surrounded by them. So our family retreat weekends, which is how I started a very long time ago as a volunteer. I won't tell you how long ago. But on our family retreats, families come in on Friday and leave on Sunday. That seems like such a small window of time. And the amount of connection that happens in that window, I wish you all could experience it, because we all have, and we know it feels so short on a calendar, but the meaningful connections that are made between dads and moms and guardians and siblings is just as strong as that connection that our campers get in the summertime. It is magical. And I can tell you about my personal experience, my very first weekend, which I kind of relived for a moment on the porch while we were talking. I remember standing in the theater on Sunday, because the last thing that happens on the family retreat weekend is stage day. And I remember thinking, what just happened? I was sobbing. I didn't want to leave, and I was just a volunteer. And I thought, what just happened? Like, I really couldn't believe the magic and the energy. So imagine if I felt that way as a volunteer, and all of our volunteers and staff do, how a camper feels, or a sibling that is all too often pushed aside because the illness is front and center, right? There's nothing intentional about that. It's just the way life is. And our doctor said those family weekends are so key because imagine for a moment your child has epilepsy. So now they've got sudden onset epilepsy. Try going to the grocery store, right? Try driving your car. Try, now they can't go to birthday parties. You're not going to entrust a child that has seizures going. So everybody's life completely changes. And on family retreat weekends, parents get the opportunity to go fishing, perform on stage, dance here in the dining hall, but they also get the chance to spend time together, maybe as a couple. Sometimes you see those parents looking at each other and going, hey, do you want to dance? And maybe that's the first time in a really long time that's occurred to them, because the volunteer pals are making sure the kids and the siblings have a wonderful weekend. You contribute to that. The Afghans that you guys made, so first of all, let me tell you, if you think about how many kids we have in a year, you guys just set us up for 3 years worth of campers, just today alone. That's a lot. That's a lot. Because every camper and sibling, they're going to take those memories, and that Afghan's going to keep them warm, and they're going to remember the smell of that when it was on their bed. They're going to remember the cabin chat when they're wrapped up in those Afghans. Like, it matters. It makes such a difference. And I cannot thank you enough. All of us cannot thank you enough for the awareness you have created, because we are a nonprofit, and now I heard you're selling some shirts to raise some money.
Which, by the way,
I
have a check.
Oh!
From all of the people who have purchased their Boggy Blanket Brigade.
Oh my gosh!
In the amount of $698.
Yes!
That's all from the subscribers.
That is amazing! We can't do this without the Afghans, without the bears, without the financial support, because no camper ever pays. It is all free. And not free to us here at camp. So this matters so much. Thank you so much for adding a whole new level of your commitment.
Do it.